Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Welcome Iris, welcome Jesse. Welcome. We're here at the end of practice now. I meant to actually light a candle. Well, there... Sorry, I'm trying to light a candle here. It has lit. Just about. Well, welcome. We're here, we're just about to get into qualifying for the 75-minute race coming up. We've got a 15-minute qualifying session. It's private qualifying, so we won't be contending with traffic. Evening, Geeky. Good to see you. Yeah, we've just swapped over there now to quali. I'm going to put in 8 laps of fuel. I think that will be good. As you've seen, in the practice standings, we're looking quite good. We've got 6 LMP2s with us, and we're a little quiet there. But we do have an additional 11 GT3s to make our way around on track. Let us get out on to the track. You're also going to notice on the left-hand side, I've just got a new relative app. Same app I use for the ACC over there. That's usually over there. But this time we've got up on screen, got a relative, so I can have something like tire pressures showing, which I quite like, without, while also allowing us to see the relative rather than having to flick to and from it. The relative is going to look a little off this session because it is a private session. So we don't see any other cars on track, but the relative is still acknowledging them. So we can just ignore it, but it'll be quite handy in the race when we get to it. Trying to get our tires up to temperature. It is 10 PM in game time here at Bahrain. Very late. Track is, as you can see on the relative display, 14 degrees Celsius. That is very, very cold. So it makes it a bit harder to get the tires up to temperature. The optimal temperature for these medium tires that we have in LMP2 is 86 degrees Celsius. So far we've only been running them at about 70 in practice, so we are going to struggle a little bit for grip. It is going to be sort of lower grip. But we do have a high grip track, but we won't be able to get the most out of the tires. Yes, so we'll keep the tire display on. Unlike Fuji, which we ran on Saturday, we have realistic tire wear and fuel usage. So that means that we're going to have much longer stints here. We can go about 22 laps on a full tank. And we can probably get away with just doubling the tires, taking one set of tires throughout the entire race. So a little less sort of strategy to play with. It'll just be a guaranteed one stop at least for the LMP2, I believe. GT3 might differ a little bit. I'm not too certain, but that is not our concern. One of the big changes from the GT3 that we drove on Saturday to the LMP2 that we're driving now is a lack of ABS. If we're a little too hard on the brakes, we will lock the tires up. We'll put a flat spot on them and damage them, and that will most likely be done at this the infamous turn 9 and 10 at Bahrain. Very difficult braking zone. You see a lot of lockups are in F1. So we'll have to be contending with that today. That'll make it a little more challenging. But I hope everyone is doing well. Hope you all had a good weekend and a good start to your week now. Now that we're into Monday. Christmas in just a couple of days for those that celebrate. Hope you've all got some nice plans, whether they're festive plans or just time to relax to yourself. Both are important. Yeah, first lap 57.0. We'll be getting down to the 52s, maybe even the 51s. When we start pushing a bit more. Finally got 3 days off. Nice, nice. I know my mum has booked, is going in tomorrow, but then has from Christmas Day all the way till the 6th of January booked off. Deep in here to turn the 8, sliding around on the marbles a bit. Seems like from the VC I was in with some of the drivers before the race, a lot of them are still new to the game, still getting themselves up to speed and learning the quirks of the game. Starting to build up some more speed. Fastest middle sector. Not going to be enough to take provisional pole on this lap, but will not be far off. Only a couple of tenths, but still got plenty of time to find. A little bit of a lockup into T1. Still finding a little bit of time, a little bit slower though on the exit. Finding a bit of time through turn 4. Fastest opening sector. Nearly a second up now. Out through the long right-hander. A little bit of a lockup. Start of sector 3. Just about keeping within track limits there seemingly, as we've got the fastest first 2 sectors. Of course, sliding round on the apex of the final corner. The final sector in Fuji is definitely a difficult one. looks like we're just outside track limits there. Yeah, the final sector of Fuji is definitely a difficult one. With the longer corners, tightening corners as well. I remember in the lead up to that race, you know, people were asking, oh yeah, what sort of line are you taking throughout the final sector? As it was the sector that they were struggling with. And after that stream, as watching back a bit of Jimmy's and Bailey's, Stephen Bailey's perspectives of the race, and they had a very exciting final lap. I recommend checking out the final lap of their races if you haven't seen it. Very exciting finish. But yeah, a little bit of an incident, let's just say, in the final sector. But yeah, final sector is definitely the most difficult part of Fuji. Gonna be this lap done. Was all wheels outside the white line on the curb. Yeah, it's just one of those tracks where it is really difficult to get it right. A little bit early on the turn in there. Good final corner. Potential 7/10. Potential 7/10. We've got a couple more laps. Oh, I just locked the rears. That's a little too aggressive on the brakes. From what I can tell, a spin like that does damage the tires, so it might be difficult to get a quicker lap in now. We don't really need one at this moment in time. I did notice the second place driver, Stevie Bain, did go into the pits around the 6-minute mark. You can actually see them on the relative. They're only one lap into this current stint. So I find the car only gets better as the stint goes on. I find it very difficult to get a good lap in early on, and that you need time for the car to develop. And maybe that part of that I'm still getting used to the game and the physics. but we'll have one more lap here. T1. Went in deep on the marbles. Yeah, lost a lot of time there. Again, just losing the rear end. So yeah, I won't be able to find that time. I imagine that 51.8 will still be good enough for pole position. A little bit disappointing not to actually get a low 51 in. Well, not worry too much about it. So yeah, I have the low fuel warnings coming up. We'll do a practice pit entry, as I haven't done many around here. And it's quite a big braking zone into the pits. Okay, that was quite safe. So we know we definitely have more time to gain. Stevie, only a couple of tenths off, actually got a good lap in there at the end. I hope that would have been good for a pit stop. I'm going to assume it just didn't happen because of pit stop. Yeah, just under 2 tenths there difference at the end. Let's put full fuel back in. It says that will be 22 laps. I do just want to get a calculator up. We will probably have 40 laps. So we'll probably only need to put 18 laps of fuel in for the second stint. And the plan is that we're not going to change tires. That is my plan, that we don't change tires. We keep the same set on throughout the whole race. It gains us, I think, 13 seconds in the pit lane. Stationary. Of course, then we've got to make sure we don't lose that time. What does radiator tape do? Good question. Radiator tape is... it blocks the cooling for the radiators, the respective radiators. So the water radiator, you cover that up. That means the water isn't getting cooled down by the airflow flowing over and through the ducting as much, because there isn't as much air going through the ducting. You've got a smaller duct. Not physically smaller duct, but you've just covered up some of the opening as if it was smaller. Because obviously when you have airflow and you force it through a radiator, that is quite draggy. And so theoretically, saves you a bit of drag. But yeah, tires, not much to change on the tires. Everything in the setup is kind of where I want it. Might have to do a little bit of fuel. Should be alright without fuel saving. To just go flat out. Let's put ourselves on the grid. Turn the headlights on. Yeah, it is pretty cool. A little small detail. I mean, on ACC, you also have settings for the brake ducts. But like, if you ever watch rallying in the WRC, you'll see they have like panels that they can put on the front of the car, which are usually quite noticeable. So
Formation lap has started.
oh, I'm stalled. Oh, what? Oh, I don't know what's happened there. I guess I took too long. Oh well. I'm gonna guess I took too long and the stalling like had me too far back. Yeah, if I got a little bit quicker, I wouldn't be at the back of this cube. I'm not the only one. Oh yeah, we've all missed E1. Lol. Cool tires. Yeah, I'm just. I need to focus down. Get the mindset right. Cooled tires. One LMP has looped it round. Of course, we'll have to pass through the GT3 pack. Ferrari's been spun. Ferrari. And the next car in front was the second place car. I'd be a little bit worried if they were out in the lead, pulling a big gap, being our closest contender, but the fact that they're back here with us gives me a bit more hope. But 75 minutes is a long time. We'll just keep making our way through the traffic. On the back of Stevie now. Still have a couple of cars to go through. Three wide into the left-hander here. Stevie's ran wide in front. Stevie's kept his nose in. Just leave the space to be safe. Yeah, we're 11 seconds off the leading class at the moment. Hang it round the outside. Just go back out this one. It's GT3 being there, just wasn't sure how we were going to approach them, or when, if we were going to catch up to them in the brake zone. We've got much better exit. But again, just gonna play it safe. It's a long race. Don't want to get caught up in an instant at this early stage. Not sure what that GT3 was doing exactly. Yeah, generally just a bit of an awkward situation. One of the LMP2s have spun here. I've got 8 track limit points, which is a bit more generous than what we had at Fuji. We only had 5 for that 90-minute race. Stevie out very wide there. Get slightly better drive off the corner. And despite us being right in the slipstream, seems to have more straight line speed than us. So yeah, this isn't going to be an easy pass. Locks the rears up, just like what we did in qualifying. Definitely going to be a little track limit strike. Or, no, wasn't. Generous. On. Why wouldn't the car go into reverse? Oh, let me just check controls. Stalled it. Yeah, one of the things I noticed when I booted the game up an hour and a half ago now to do some practice, that all my controls got reset, And there's a setting that prevents you from shifting down to neutral with your normal controls, which I've enabled. Like, if you watched Jimmy's stream, you'll see like a few times he's shifted down to neutral accidentally, and it just prevents you from doing that. But I forgot neutral was the one button I forgot to rebind. So I do not think I'll be winning this race, now being 50 plus seconds off the lead. Having to pass the GT3 field again isn't gonna help. Let's set some purple times at least. If you're just going to drive off the circuit, that's fine by me. Not required, but I'll not complain. McLaren's had a spin. Lock up there. Yeah, fastest lap of the race. Was slower than expected on the apex. Well, you could take that long right-hander flat out. I'm not going to, because it's only going to hurt that front left tyre. And since I'm not taking new tyres in the pit stop, I will make sure I keep it intact. I don't damage it too much. It'll deep through T1. At 500 miles. One hour left in the race. Really awkward time to come across GT3. P3 is definitely on the cards. But P2, I think, is a bit out of the question. Yeah, you can see P3 did a 57 last lap. .55.1 for P4, personal best from them. Can't see what P2 is doing, or P1 unfortunately. Good start to this lap. But been a good middle sector so far. There's P4. Spun on the inside of the right-hander there. Again, fastest middle sector. Despite losing half a second in sector 1, I'm only a tenth down on my fastest time so far. 53.6 for the car in P2. So with that time difference, it is possible. But we cannot afford any mistakes. course, have to remember this is only to P2. We don't know how much further P1 is up the road or how quickly they're going. Well, you can kind of see on the map they're only a few seconds in front. Fastest first 2 sectors, 7/10 up on our personal best. 51.5, which is faster than our quali lap was. Curb. That was a little bit of an annoying placement from the Corvette, who nearly spun it off that exit curb. In fairness, we would have lost a lot more time if they didn't let us through, and we had to wait behind them, so we can't really complain too much. And P2 is definitely closing in on P1 on the mini-map. Hopefully they'll slow each other up. Fighting. They're not just yet, but I think they're about to start fighting now. How much they'll fight, we have no idea. See how easy it is just to lose a bit of time. And yeah, see, change for lead has occurred. Doesn't look like they've lost too much time. "51 minutes still to go." That's not the ideal line through turns 1 and 2. 56.8 for P2 last lap. So I would say P2 is definitely on. You have to remember, of course, the strategies will come into play for this. Being the faster class in this race compared to Fuji, where we were the slower class, there's a lot more potential for time loss. From traffic from the other class. So the extra time stopped changing tires. You know, if that means we have to pass an extra 5 GT3 cars, that can make a big difference. Whereas in Fuji, since we were the class being passed, we weren't losing as much time in those situations. And yeah, we were able to catch up to the McLaren that didn't change tires in that race. Truth is, we have no idea how the strategy is going to play out this race. One advantage though is we'll not have stone cold tires. Our tires will have some heat in them when we come out of the pits, so that will gain us a little bit more time too. Just a second behind P3 now. They run out wide. They'll give us that place for free. Means we get to see the gap now to P1 again. 26 seconds. I'm uncertain. I'm gonna assume we're not able to catch for the lead of this race, but I'm not going to stop trying. Fry looks to be going very slowly there. That's actually a bit dangerous. Fight here for P5 in the GT3 class. just weren't quite close enough to the McLaren. That's awkward. Of course, leading two cars will already have had to pass this traffic. .54.6 for the car in P2, and that's their personal best. So yeah, almost certain that we'll catch up to them. .5 seconds to P1, depends what lap times they're doing. And of course, what the pit strategy is. Six laps of fuel left. Trying to do fuel calculations because I'm not trusting what the gauge is saying in the bottom left. GT3 just very slow on the apex. Five laps is 14.5 litres. So that says about 14.5. 2.9. Let's say 2.9 litres a lap. We've done 17 laps. So we'll have done 22 laps by the time we pitted, which is what the game predicted at the start on a full tank of fuel. So we will need 18 laps of fuel. Gigi, could you do 2.9 times 18, please? 52.2. Thank you. Thank you, Kiki and Darius. No, thank you. So we can see the game is somewhat wrong. In the bottom left. Which is nice. 38 minutes left in the race. 21 seconds behind the leader. We've not quite been making the inroads that we need to in the last few laps. Bit of a double front lock up there, which isn't ideal. A couple of cars have been messing around through the first few corners. Nearly ran into the back of them there, not sure what they were doing. Yeah, partly is. Traffic also hasn't been a help. Got 2 laps of fuel left. Nice slipstream off the GT3 car. Leave them the air on the racing line, so they don't just hit the ABS and run straight into the back of us. 53.4 for the leader last lap. It's not their personal best. I'd say we need to be close to gaining 2 seconds a lap. No, actually, maybe not 2 seconds, but a bit over a second a lap is what we need. Nope, there's no magical go faster button in these cars. 54.1 for the leader. So that's a lap where we have gained some time. And we box at the end of this lap. Deep into T1. We get the answer to what they're gonna do on strategy. Car just got caught on the curb a little bit there. Oh, pit button. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Usually the game does it automatically when you're on like low fuel. That's what I think happened at Fuji. Leader is in. We're gonna follow them in. Quite cautiously into the pits. It feels like every time you come into the pits, the car needs readjusted slightly. I wish it'd give you a little bit more... making sure the car's actually turned on. Yeah, I don't think they changed tires either. I also wish it was clear, like, when like you're getting ready to go. The pit sound you were hearing, Iris, is the sort of pit warning of when a car comes into the pit lane to let everyone know, all the people in pit lane know that there's a car that's come into the pits. Usually it's marshals blowing whistles, but at some tracks I think they have an automated system. We lost a few seconds in that pit sequence. Which is only going to make it more difficult to catch up. Only 30 minutes remain. Yeah, I definitely need some pit practice. Annoyingly, we've got GT3 traffic between the two of us, so I can't see what lap times they're doing. We're going to be slower than we were in the first stint, just by the fact the tyres are old and we have heavy fuel. That wasn't ideal. 2:49.5 versus a 2:53.4 for our out laps. Yeah, that's where the time was lost. I might have taken a little bit more fuel in them too. They might have sort of played a little bit riskier. Maybe them running slightly slower on lap times saved them a little bit. I need to be more than a second a lap quicker. Probably close to 1.3 seconds. Maybe even 1.5. Oh, that's wide. Yeah, just dropped half a second there when I didn't need to. Some cars in the pits here. 53.1, yeah, it was only a 10th quicker that lap. .53.1 is a pretty good time for old tyres. So I cannot afford any mistakes. GT3 behind had enough. A bit quicker this lap than we were previously. Still lost a bit of time to traffic. Another 53.1 for the leader. So the leader's running very consistently. If they can keep that pace up, I'm definitely not catching them. Yeah, and especially if I catch a GT3 like this. That's a good second down the drain. And that's another second and a half. .55.3 for the leader this lap. So we're still going to be quicker than the leaders despite that moment. Didn't see what the time was there for that lap. But yeah, if we didn't have that mistake, that, you know, we'd still be in it because of that slow lap from the leader. But the fact we made our own mistake means that, yeah, we still didn't gain the time that we need to. Car's starting to move around more now. Just from the tires being worn. So it is becoming easier and easier to make mistakes with 21 minutes to go. We could see mistakes from the leader. A bit wide there. That cost me time. Well, like 10 laps to go. We need to be gaining 1.6 seconds a lap, which we just about did last lap. Well, it needs to be more 1.7 seconds a lap if we're going to have any time to make an overtake. Of course, GT3 traffic will play into this. Again, a little wide there. That corner seems to be my nemesis at the moment. Oh, that curb. Just dragged the car out wide. I'm doing well in the first sector, but then the second and third sectors is where I'm dropping time. Yeah, we did get a second on the last lap. That's a much better run through there. We didn't lose any time passing those GT3s. 54.4. 52.4, right? We gained 2 seconds that lap. We need to keep that up. Better lock up into T1. Leaders going through some GT3 traffic. One and a half seconds, that's not enough. Yeah, we need 2 seconds a lap now. this is a good lap now. You know, only 4/10 off the Delta. I'd say lost a 10th there from the GT3. 1.8 seconds marginal to what we need. Seconds is the gap. There's only like 6 laps to go. Sliding there in the braking zone, lost half a second. Slipstream here could be good. Yeah, 6/10. Not enough. I mean, we'd only have been like 1.3 seconds without the mistake. So still not enough. Remaining. Can see them in the distance. Going through turn 11 behind a GT3. Ah, oh, such a lockup. Stalled it. I've stalled again. Ah. Oh well. It was a slim chance anyway. Very unlikely it was going to happen. It's really struggling with that left-hander. Just locking the left front ever so slightly quite a few times into it. And just trying to carry the speed, get back on the throttle despite being wide. Didn't have the traction on the rear end and just looped the car around. Still got a 50-second gap to P3, so we'll easily take on P2 here. They'll be struggling in some fashion. Whether it's the exact same way that I'm struggling, you know, depends on how they're driving. You know, turn 11 might not be a struggle for them. You know, it might be a corner that, yeah, they've got served down quite well, but, you know, like they might be struggling a bit more in turn 10 here, you know, or something. I've definitely got flat spots. I can feel it through the wheel. There's just a vibration through the wheel down the straights. Welcome, Vala. We're getting towards the end of this race. Just over 6 minutes to go. It's been a fun race. A couple of mistakes for myself have made it quite challenging, but we pushed through, and until my last mistake about a few minutes ago now, there was still a chance of winning the race. It was a fun pursuit. But yeah, the last mistake that I made, just scuppering any chances. GT3 holding a unusually tight line there. Minutes left in the race. Nope, no tire change. Hard to say if it was the right call or not. Yeah, I'm just struggling with little lockups now. The tires have flat spots on them. Oh, that no grip out there. I thought having TC would mean like I could put down the throttle and the car wouldn't instantly spin, but it certainly did. vibrations are getting worse. Car's getting quite lazy on the front end. It might have been a call to have changed the front left tyre, but left the other 3 tyres unchanged. Of course, my spins haven't helped the tyres. Leaders on to the final lap now. Yeah, we'll be a little short of having a 40th lap, never mind a 41st. GT3s here. Got 3 of them and an LMP2. LMP2 seems to be really struggling. LMP3 goes for a spin. This is the fight for P3. Yeah, I'm actually not gonna. With how much they're moving around. Let's just wait here. Side by side through the final corner. Car on the outside goes wide. And is going to lose out in the end. And there we go. Yeah. A race, a lot of learning that race. A lot of learning. Fastest lap by 1.2 seconds. Damn. Yeah, I love learning that race. Few mistakes, but a lot of things to learn. Which isn't too much of a surprise in this early stage of the Mon Ultimate for me. It's only my 2nd race. Yeah, a couple of mistakes getting caught out by just off track being so slippery. A couple of mistakes that, yeah, that's all on me. Yeah, and we would have won that race had I still had neutral bounded. Had the game not reset my key bindings, before today, and I don't know why it reset it. I don't know if it was like me setting up the relative overlay there that because you have to do a little thing in the files, change a config. I don't know if that's what caused it or if it was something else. I was messing around a little bit with settings to try and get a photo mode. Well, there isn't a photo mode in the game, but to try and get free cam working to get thumbnails. So yeah, but yeah, if it wasn't for that, that would have been 20 seconds. Wouldn't have had to been pushing so hard at the end and wouldn't have made that mistakes. How much is LMU? LMU is fixed price. £29 full price is currently 10% off in the Steam winter sale. It does have a season pass, of which 3/4 of the content is released for at the moment. The season pass is £40 full price, but it too is 10% off at £36. So at the moment it's 88. No, not 88. No, because I bought AMS2 content too. So 36 plus 26 is 62, £63 for everything in LMU, but you can just get the base game for about £26 at the moment. Currently, I'm enjoying it. I recommend it. Even if you're someone that's used to ACC, the GT3 cars are a little bit different. They provide a different challenge that I think people, if you enjoy a challenge, you'll enjoy trying to adapt to the challenge that LMU offers. Cool tires is a big thing, much more challenging on LMU, but much more realistic from what I've heard from real life drivers. Then, yeah, cars, the way they slide around a bit more. Traction control and ABS aren't like full saving graces. Like, you can't just completely lean on them like you do in ACC. You still have to respect the car a bit more, respect the throttle, respect the brake. On throttle, you can't just pin the throttle and be like, oh, yeah, I drive out of the corner. If you pin the throttle, you will spin. Um, um, if on braking, you do have to trail brake to an extent. To get the car to rotate into a corner at the end of a braking zone. You can't just lift off the brake. Trail braking is quite important. So yeah, I'd say very good game. But yeah, there is no subscription to it. Of course, it remains to be seen how far they'll go with like DLC, paid DLC. At the moment, they still consider the game in early access, which, yes, you can very much see why when you play the game. There's still the odd bug. There's still things that need polished off. But it's fundamentally, it is a fun, enjoyable racing sim. And yeah, I would recommend it. Yeah, I would definitely recommend it in its current state. Definitely, at least for the base game. The season pass, that's very much up to you. If you want to spend that much on 4 tracks and 7 GT3 cars, I think it is. I think is the entire. Um, or there's 4 hypercars in it included in it as well. So 4 hypercars, 7 GT3s, and 4 circuits. If you think that's worth £40 or £36 at the moment, then yeah, go for it. But you could still enjoy the game relatively well without that. I want to jump in to the VC here for a moment. I'm not going to include VC audio because there's people in there and I haven't asked them about streaming in it. So, but I just want to talk for a few minutes just to see. Oh, subscriptions. Yes. No, they're not in here. There is a subscription thing which I Yes, I've just remembered. If I go to the profile here, this runs off of yeah, I can bring this on. So what you see here is racecontrol.gg. It is the website that hosts all of LMU online racing. It is, if I go to the main page here, you will see powered by SimGrid. It is essentially, oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is racecontrol.gg, is effectively the online hub for LMU. As it says here, powered by SimGrid, it is effectively SimGrid, just the Mon Ultimate specific. All the community events here are stuff that you'll see on SimGrid as well, but it does have additional stuff like daily races and special events. Kind of a bit more like iRacing. You can join. There are tiers. Is it support? Pro. So yeah, there are different tiers, as you can see here. The free version gets you weekly events, special events, daily events, practice sessions, and hosted stuff. But there are subscriptions to upgrade. There's one at $48 a year, which gets you online championships. That's like bonus races, extended registration. So that will be you can sign up like earlier than everyone that isn't paying. So like to guarantee you spots or something like that. Priority driver reports. Not sure what that is. Yeah, not sure what that is. Priority driver reports. It might be something like what Coach Dave Academy do in their reports in that regard. But yeah, and then there's also Race Control Pro Plus, which is a little bit more expensive. It's $36 more expensive, but you get LMU DLC and RF2 DLC. No, it's definitely not needed. Definitely not. Is it worth it? I don't think. If you're going to buy Race Control Pro, it looks like you might as well buy Race Control Pro Plus. Since you get the DLC from it, and the difference between the two tiers, is the price of the season pass at the moment for LMU. Well, it's actually less than the price. So you're pretty much getting the DLC for free. But of course, then like it's billed yearly. I don't know if it's a case of you have it for a year, you keep the DLC, or if it's in substitute of the DLC. So eventually, depending on what DLC is racked up, it might become more expensive, but it might be cheaper. I'm not sure. No one will know until, apart from the devs and what they have planned. Um, but yeah, for any of this stuff here, any of these events, you will not need it. And like as you can tell, like this is the exact same as SimGrid. Um, if I brought like SimGrid, but yeah, if I brought SimGrid up, you can see it's literally the exact same. Yeah, it is. And even if I go my profile, yeah, ooh, let's probably not show that stuff. But yeah, yeah, the subscription stuff, I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, really, I mean, is it lazy? Um, yes, you can. So like, let me see here. Give me one moment. So here, We have one of the races that I'll be streaming in a couple of weeks. You can see it here. And here's the exact same event on SimGrid. And that is one good thing about the fact that it's very similar to SimGrid is all this stuff is on SimGrid. You use SimGrid already, you can just you don't really worry about race control. You just link it and boom. And you can kind of forget about it and just do everything on SimGrid. If you only play LMU, you don't need to use SimGrid, technically, I don't think. But you know, but you might as well. I'm just wondering. And there's even a button to your SimGrid profile. But yeah. It would be nice if there was a dark mode to this. I find it's very bright. But yeah, this website's powered by SimGrid. So yeah, the VC I was going to join has dispersed. Let's just put it that way. I'm just so used to dark stuff, like especially since I keep my room very dark. It's just easier on the eyes when it's dark mode. As we always do, we are going to finish off with a bit of Art of Rally. We'll get the weekly event done. And yeah. Take this off. Right, daily event. We ran this. Did we run this yesterday? No, we didn't. But we ran it on Saturday. We got 20th, top 5%. That's pretty good going. Let's see what we have today. Group 3 at Norway. It's coming up till 10 o'clock. I didn't think it was that late. We have a Lancia Stratos here. Which we enjoyed driving on WRC yesterday. I'll say it was a little easier in WRC, but quite similar as you'd expect, being the same car, but very different styles of game, of course. A little bit messy through the middle of the stage here. That's a bit of a bounce. Well, that's close to the hay bale. I only noticed that at the last moment when I had nearly hit it there. So 206.1. 34th. All right, top 10%. I'll take that. Don't cut. I mean, sure, there's that corner in Estonia where there's a hay bale not even on the edge of the road. It intrudes onto the road a little bit on the apex. It's a 4 left. And no, nothing. No, don't cut. When it really is a don't cut. I remember there being flack given for the for that corner early on in the game's release. Seeing a clip of someone just flying into 4 left, boom, into a hay bale. Or was it don't cut? Yeah. And on to the weekly event here. 44th from Saturday. Top 5%. That's pretty good going. Let's see what we have this week. Group B at Finland, starting off with an 8.5 kilometer stage. As this is a delta, isn't it? I don't know why it took me so long to remember that this is a delta. Yeah, delta. I was looking and it's like, I know what this car is, but the name's not coming to my mind. I eventually clicked. Oh, that's not a good landing. Yeah, that's gonna be an annoying reset. Car. Not a fan of jumps. A little bit wide through the hairpin there. Just avoided that hay bale, those hay bales again. Oh, that's an interesting line, that one. I realised I was going to hit the tree, so I was like, I'll just go round the tree, hit a bump, and that flung the car up into the air. But I thought if I went ahead planted it into the tree, there'd be a lot of damage to infinity. Yeah. Not a very controlled takeoff that. I should not have went flat out over that crest. Ugh, that's a heavy hit on a tree. Definitely gonna have to make some repairs this week at the midpoint service. That's not the line. That's straight into a bank. Near the end of this stage. Quite a bit of damage, 343.5, that's going to be awfully off the pace. 159th, bottom 55%. Let's see how far we can claw back. 6 kilometers in the second stage here, all on gravel. Yeah, we are thrashing this per delta. I blame the delta. It's not my fault it can't land on the ground in a straight line. But yeah, the car definitely feels like it's missing some acceleration. A clean stage though should still be able to see us make up some positions. How many though, I do not know. Let's brake for that jump. Still got very twisted. Bit of a cut there. Yeah, car just doesn't build revs like get used to. About 1 kilometer to go. Little bounce there that got me nervous. There's finish 243.7. Up to 98th into the top 100. That's kind of where I wanted to be after this stage. 5.1 kilometer stage now, but more importantly, we get to make service repairs. Only radiator damage. That is surprising. I am very surprised. But yeah, we'll get a bit more acceleration back, and we'll have 5.1 kilometers in the rain. To try and not crash the car again. Let's be honest. With how slippery the rain can be. Have to take it nice and easy. Car sliding around an awful lot in the rain. Be so easy to misjudge it, and yeah, that's too much speed over that jump. Was never getting the car slowed down. A little bit of exploring there. There's the finish. At least some performer didn't have a car plying the fields early. Nearly did though, nearly did. Up to 72nd now. With one stage to go, a short stage, 3.2 kilometer stage, mixed surface. In the rain once again. That's a stage. It'll be a tricky stage in these conditions. Feels a lot more technical in the rain. There's the tarmac. Well, that's a bit too sideways on the final corner. 128.3 gets us up to 55th in the end, top 20%. Though, given that this is the second day of the weekly event, that's not that great, let's be honest. I'm going to drop so far down. Yeah, well, I mean, 44th was, if we go back to the leaderboard here. Yeah, 44th was top 5% at the end of last week. 55 being top 20%, yeah, you can tell how that's going to go. That's going to go downhill real quickly. But yeah, that is going to do it for today's stream. That race was fun. I was a little bit worried after qualifying that race might have been a bit more could have been finding ourselves out at front and then not having much of a race. So I wasn't too annoyed at the sort of pit lane start. It was certainly going to make the race more interesting. The spin, okay, it is what it is. You know, it just shows how how much trickier this game is. The fact that I just had to really check up in the middle of the corner, spinning the car around. So yeah. But yeah, then just being stuck up against that wall for 40 seconds, having to go into the menu to rebind neutral, yeah, that was a bit annoying. I mean, it would have been, if I didn't make any mistakes from that point forth, if I was perfect, you know, didn't make small lockups, run wide, was perfect on the pit entry and pit box, you know, didn't have the half spin at turns 9 and 10, didn't then have the spin at turn 11. It I think I could have won. I think I could have won. It would have been really close, but I think I would have just won. It would have been a bit of a fight at the end. But of course, with all those considerations, you've got to remember traffic. Traffic's not going to be the exact same. It's going to be a little bit different. You're going to catch the cars at different points. Like one of the cars we caught in going into the S's, and we lost like a second behind. We might have caught them at between turns 3 and 4 and not lost any time. And then we might have caught a different car into turns 9 and 10, for example, that we maybe passed between 10 and 11 instead. Those things would have been different. But yeah, it would have been a fun race. Well, it was still a fun race either way. But yeah, that is going to do it for today's stream. I will be back on the Mon Ultimate on Saturday. Yes, Saturday the 28th. We will have a 90-minute race around Interlagos. We'll be back in the GT3 cars. I think I'm going to try the McLaren for that race, is what I'm leaning towards. The McLaren is one of the cars I'm more... the McLaren or Ferrari, since I'm a bit more familiar with those two cars in ACC. Then on next Monday, just before the new year, we'll have what time? I think that's 8 o'clock UK time for that one. Let me just double check. I normally have a page open with all of my races. I usually just have a sim grid page open, but I closed it on stream earlier. So yeah, let's see. Qualifying is 7:30 UK time for qualifying to start. 8 o'clock for the race start, and then on the 30th, Monday, we will have a Ford versus Ferrari GT3 battle on ACC at Watkins Glen. That will be starting just before 8 p.m. UK time. That's a 75-minute stint. And then on the Saturday after that, so the 4th of January, going into the new year, we'll have a 3-hour race at Le Mans on the Mans Ultimate. Again, I'll be starting 7:30 UK time for qualifying. We'll be back in the LMP2 class for that one. But yeah, that'll be in just under a couple of weeks on January the 4th. But yeah, that's the planned streams for the moment. And then looking further ahead into the next year, it looks like we're going to have a regular Sunday stream for 6 weeks, starting the 19th of January. Let me just double check. Yes, starting the 19th, we're going to have a regular racing series on ACC. I'll share a little bit more about that when we get into the new year. But yeah, for now, that's going to do it for streams before Christmas. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Iris, Geeky, Jesse, Vala, to coming in towards the end. It was great to see so many faces for today's stream. Hopefully, I will see you all back on the other end of Christmas with some more The Mon Ultimate and some ACC before the new year. But yeah, in the meantime, again, thank you all very much for watching. Wish you all a very Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays if you don't exactly celebrate Christmas. But if you do, very Merry Christmas. Enjoy your holidays. Hope you all have fantastic plans and can enjoy the time, whether it be with friends, with family, with whoever. I hope you all can enjoy it. And yeah, I hope you all can treat yourselves a bit too over the period. But yeah, thank you all again very much for watching, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye bye.